Hey, welcome back everyone. Cameron here. Today's video will consist of how to draw the back of the arm using charcoal. I'll explain my approach in the simplest way possible. Feel free to pause the video at any point if I happen to go too fast. I hope this tutorial helps you as well as supports you on your art journey. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what else you guys would like to see additional videos on, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated, and now let's get to the video. Okay, so starting off, we're going to block in the real shoulder or deltoid. It's going to be similar to a triangle. A rounded triangle like that, I would say. And then next we're gonna block in the tricep. And then next is gonna be a shape for the back of the forearm. And again, make sure you keep your pencil tilted so that you're drawing with the side of the pencil. This is basically what's called the gesture stage. And also keep in mind the upper arm will always be slightly shorter than the forearm moving forward. Next, we're going to block in the inner portion of the tricep, which is going to be similar to a U shape. And then you also want to close it off at the bottom at which the tricep ends, and this is basically going to give us the template for our elbow and for the elbow and where it sits later on. Then next we can begin softening our drawing so that we can start laying in our tones. So drawing with the side of your pencil, once again, you want to start working your way into the inner portions of your forearms. And you basically want to start gradually darkening, as well as adding any tones and contrast to the muscles. Or basically blocking in the darkest parts of the arm first in a light fashion, so we know where to go later on, if that makes sense. Defining our outer shapes even further, we want to start by adding heavier line weight so that our arm has more 3-dimension. Next, from here we can start working working our inner tones more and some gradual darker tones. And feel free to erase any unnecessary marks if needed. And as you're adding your tones, you don't want to go fully towards the outer border of your drawing, since this is going to help give it the rounded appearance, if that makes sense, so it doesn't look like a flat surface. So you want to basically leave a little bit of a rim light, if that makes sense, around your edges. Next, we'll soften our tones, and the tool you see me here using is called a soft knife, And this is basically just an alternative to using your fingers or a paper towel, but you can use it as you could use it in many different uses as well. It's also a good way for drawing in tones in certain areas that are a little bit more difficult when using your pencil. Since the elbow is slightly bent in the opposite direction of us, the under portion will be slightly darker to give the appearance of it being bent. And when it comes to the inner portion of the tricep, you want to make it so that you want to make it so where the creases meet are where the darkest tones will be, basically. This is what will give the triceps a more rounded and three-dimensional look, pretty much. So you don't want to add you don't want to make it so that the whole line of the tricep is the same consistent dark tone, but basically a gradual tone. And it should pop if you did it correctly. And that is our video. I hope this was helpful for you, and take care everyone.